So I have just completed 365 days of not drinking, and I have learned a ton about myself, but I've also learned that there are some serious misconceptions out there about what it means to stop drinking or go sober or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to hit 4 of those in this video right now. So let's get going. Myth number 1, if you quit drinking, you are going to suffer. Oh my God, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be so boring. There is nothing good to drink. You're going to spend this entire time drinking LaCroix and seltzer waters and club sodas. It's going to be absolutely terrible. No, this is totally untrue. Guys, wake up. The non-alcoholic beverage space is exploding. There are new companies and new products by the day. It is really kind of awesome and kind of a fun thing to be a connoisseur of. Have you tried Guinness Zero? It tastes like Guinness. Seriously, it's really good. Have you tried Heineken 00? If not, well, why not? It's like basically everywhere. Ask for it the next time you're at a restaurant. Seriously, it's a pretty good option. And my favorite athletic brewing company, I'm super biased probably because they sponsor my podcast, but I love their non-alcoholic brews. They have like so many different varieties. You can order it straight to your door online. I love it. And it's just super high quality craft beer. So really, really highly recommend all of those. And outside of beer, if you're not a beer drinker, Recess is a really great one. It's like full of all kinds of adaptogens and all kinds of really cool ingredients. They've got a margarita that is excellent that I love, non-alcoholic margarita. And on the wine side, I'll be honest with you, I have not found a great wine yet, but I think they exist. So if you're watching this video and you know of a great wine, especially a red wine that is non-alcoholic, drop it in the comments because I need to know about this and I need to try it ASAP. All right, myth number 2, if you quit drinking, it's not going to really positively impact your health that much. Well, I don't know. Think about this for a second. Think about waking up every Saturday and Sunday morning and feeling terrific, well rested, and just super energized. That's basically what's going to happen. Guess what's going to happen if you do that? You're going to work out. Yes, all those days that you skipped working out, you're going to work out. And so you're going to make progress in your goal. You're probably going to lose weight. You're probably going to, improve all your metrics. If you track stuff like HRV and VO2 max, it's probably just naturally going to happen because you're going to miss a lot less workouts. And by the way, your workouts are probably going to get a lot more ambitious too. So previously, if you were running a couple miles, that's probably going up 5, 7, 10 miles. Who knows? You're going to get more ambitious with those workouts, those strength goals. You're going to be running races. You're going to surprise yourself just purely out of the time and energy that you get. You also are going to make better nutrition choices. Listen, if you're not drinking alcohol, there's kind of very little reason to have that like midnight slice or 2 or 3 of pizza. All these decisions that we make when we're just not really thinking clearly, those go away and you just think much more clearly and make better decisions for your nutrition. And obviously, when you're doing that and you're not eating that pizza at midnight and all that, you're going to sleep better. And if you are into the Whoop or Oura Ring or any of these devices that measure your heart rate variability and your recovery statistics, you'll know that the one thing that absolutely crushes your recovery is alcohol. So those are going to all improve dramatically. Your sleep is going to improve dramatically. And it just comes back to energy. So if you're saying your health is not going to improve when you quit alcohol, I'm sorry, that is a myth. All right, myth number 3, the longer you go without drinking, the harder it gets. Oh my God, yeah, totally, seriously, right? I mean, all those holidays, and it's just got to be so hard to keep up a big, long streak of not drinking. No, totally wrong, totally wrong. In fact, it's the opposite. It really legitimately has been my experience and the experience of many others who I know that the longer you go, the easier it gets. Why is this the case? Well, right at the beginning, when you first stop drinking and you communicate that to friends and family, they push back. There's peer pressure. Like, no, come on. Yeah, just have a beer. Oh, what are you on a health kick? Oh, give me a break. Oh, come on. It's so-and-so's birthday. You got to have at least one shot, right? So, but that's kind of like a hump. And then you get over that hump and it doesn't last as long as you think. And people are like, all right, this person is serious. They're actually not drinking. And then a funny thing happens. Then in a weird way, they actually become conspirators in your new goal of not drinking. What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. Like I started showing up to my friends' houses and they knew that I was drinking these athletic brewing non-alcoholic beers and they started stocking them for me. I was like, oh, wow, that's super nice of them. Same thing. I went to like family events and they started stocking these things. I'm like, that's amazing. You guys are so nice and thoughtful. Then another funny thing happens. I start noticing that my other friends are drinking them. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. What's going on here? Not that everybody was quitting alcohol. A lot of them were sort of like zebra striping, so to speak. And they're like alcohol, non-alcohol, whatever, just like weaving them in or having them sticking exclusively to the non-alcoholic stuff on like a Sunday night or something like that. But it was a funny thing that like once one person in the group makes the change, it almost like gives permission to everybody else in the group to at least think about making a change as well. So anyways, long story short, I personally have found that the longer you go not drinking, actually the easier it does get. Okay. And finally, myth number 4, not drinking makes you super lame. I mean, boring, right? I mean, if you don't drink, like, you're just not very interesting, right? Gonna disagree with this one again as well. 2 points I would make. One, believe it or not, I actually believe you become a better conversationalist when you are not drinking. And I think that makes you more interesting. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you are drinking, a lot of times, it may be fun, but like the reality is that you're not having like very good, deep conversations. It's like lowest common denominator, BSing, not going to remember it tomorrow type of conversations. I mean, at the time, it feels super important and you're very emotionally invested and you have to make that point that you want to make. Then the next day, you're like, who was I even talking to? That's not exactly like the foundation for deep human connection, I would argue. On the other hand, when you're not drinking, your thought process are very good. You are a great listener. You're actually able to like take in what this person is trying to tell you and process it and just have a much higher level of communication. And to me personally, I found that is what, really deep human connections are based on, is actually like understanding each other and having like a really thoughtful exchange of ideas. So I would argue that makes you more interesting. The second point I would make, and this is just one that's been more observational than anything, is that a lot of the people that I really respect, a lot of people I follow on social media like Twitter or YouTube and places like that, people who are doing really interesting things in life, either they're building businesses or they are accomplishing really impressive athletic feats. One thing those people have in common almost eerily is that they don't drink alcohol, or they've significantly cut back alcohol in their lives. And I was thinking about this and I was like, is this correlation or causation or what? I don't think it really matters, but all I know is this: it's a common factor among all these like super impressive people who I actually really admire. And I think it all comes back to the beginning, that first point I was making, in that it's all about energy. And when you are not consuming alcohol, you are basically giving yourself a gift of more energy in the future. You're also probably giving yourself a gift of more time and probably more money as well. But it's no surprise to me that some of the most impressive and interesting people that I know are not drinking alcohol. So not drinking makes you boring, makes you super lame, makes you not interesting. Sorry, that one's wrong. That's it. It's 4 myths that I just wanted to bust there. So it's 365 days for me. No alcohol. Gonna keep it going. No reason not to. I'm enjoying this lifestyle too much. If you're into this sort of thing, you can follow me on Twitter at Gregory Campion. Love to connect with you there. Otherwise, check out my podcast, Intentional Wisdom. I interview high performers there. A lot of times, those high performers, what do they have in common? They don't drink alcohol. Not always, but a lot of them. And check out my newsletter. It's also called Intentional Wisdom, gregcampion.substack.com. Leave me some comments here. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree with everything I said in this video. I'd love to know. Thanks for watching.